Hello, Popcorn Junkies. Welcome to a trailer reaction to Kraven the Hunter. You craven individual. Such a good name, isn't it? Kraven. I have to confess, so the Kraven the Hunter, part of the sort of Spider-Man part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, looked after by Sony Pictures, sits within the Venn diagram, sort of over there, owned by the same sort of people that own Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse, Miles Morales, all that kind of stuff. Venom, Morbius, Spider-Gwen. Is Spider-Gwen coming? And obviously Spider-Man and all that kind of stuff. So Kraven the Hunter is another one of the villains. Are they called the Sinister Six or something like that? Now, Morbius, I had such high hopes for Morbius, the vampire, played by Jared Leto. It should have been rich. It should have been good. Vampires. I love the comic books and the comics and the comic series that interface with horror. And so I was hoping with Morbius that we were going to get a bit of sort of amazing tales and amazing stories, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, it was strange. I mean, there were moments in it that were all right, but it was strange. Venom. I liked the first Venom film. The more I think about the Venom films, the more and more I feel like the experience of watching them was a little bit like coughing up some really, really thick catarrh that was stuck in your chest. And that's partly to do with the fact that that's what Tom Hardy ends up looking like. I really liked the first Venom. I liked the sort of multi-personality or the split personality, slightly schizophrenic type aspect to the villainy and Tom Hardy's character. With Morbius, it was a bit more kind of painting by numbers. And I'm curious to know what you think about this one, guys. Are you an Aaron Taylor-Johnson fan? Now, the girls find him beautiful. They love to look at him. That all may well be good and sound and dandy. But I don't think he's that much. I don't get the appeal. I don't see how or why he's landed this part. As I understand it, Bullet Train, which was all right, I have to say, check out our review. It was only all right. I didn't think it was brilliant. And within it, Aaron Taylor-Johnson was like a sort of aged Eric Idle. No, sorry, a young Eric Idle. It's like he'd walked out of a Monty Python film. He lacks grit. He's neither gritty enough nor polished enough, smooth enough. He's just not star material. And I think someone somewhere really wants him to be. And as I understand it, someone was so impressed at Sony with his performance in Bullet Train, they went, make him Kraven the Hunter. So who is Kraven the Hunter? Kraven the Hunter, as I say, part of the Sinister Six, the villains that surround sort of Spider-Man and all that kind of stuff. So he sort of sits alongside Venom, sits alongside Carnage probably, and sits alongside Morbius and all that kind of stuff. But Kraven the Hunter, as I understand it, I think Kraven the Hunter is he a big animal? What do they call them? Big trophy hunter? But his big trophies aren't elephants, rhinos and hippos. They're superheroes. So I think he has a lot of kit. I think he has a lot of armory. I think he's quite muscular. I think he's quite sort of safari. I've got a feeling we might feel a bit safari here. A superhero safari style. What I don't understand, before we go into this, tell me what you think. Sometimes I think when people are paid lots and lots of money to make these incredibly sophisticated, complex decisions about projects, I could tell you from the get-go, that whilst I liked The Flash, it was going to do appalling box office, and it has. I can tell you from the get-go that Morbius wasn't going to work. I can also tell you right now, Aaron Taylor-Johnson is not going to make this a huge hit in the way that Tom Hardy was the USP for Venom. I thought the second Venom was much weaker than the first. Let's check out Aaron Taylor-Johnson as Kraven the Hunter. Classic shot of London.
My son, never show mercy. They are prey. We are predators.
Russell Crowe's Arsenal accents.
Your mother is dead.
She died because you sent her away.
She was weak, sick in her mind. You know my business, yes? Power is about strength. If you show weakness, you will give our enemies an opening. Shoot him. Shoot him. Shoot him. weak, like his mother. Leave him.
What happened that day?
I stared death in the face, and for the first time, I saw my true self. Tell me about this hunter. They say he uses a connection with animals to track his prey. And once you're on his list, there's only one way off.
There's 6 of us, and only one of you.
There's 6 of you now.
Why do you hunt?
My father puts evil into the world. I take it out.
I think you're some kind of honor. You are exactly like our father. Just another man hunting for a trophy.
We're murderers. Isn't that what he taught us?
You don't get to do that to me anymore.
Mr. Teglin? Mr. Teglin? Where's Mr. Teglin?
Oh, you're standing in him.
You're a goddamn lunatic.
Oh, you just figured that out now?
There is an animal in each one of us.
Don't you want to know why they call me the Rhino?
Yes. First of all, was that an existential question? Do you want to know why they call me the Rhino? As soon as I was asked that by a man slowly turning into a rhino, I'd say, is it because you turn into a rhino? By any chance, you're feeling a bit horny? So many things there. On the one hand, at times, it looked like a really cheap, it looked like a really chuck-away show, you know, when they pulled up in the Jeeps. But then they really did the bullets. I mean, bullets, the violence was extreme. The cleaving of the head with an axe or a chopper, the bullets going in, the crossbow bolts. That was pretty gruesome and pretty gripping. And so it's clearly going to be a sort of 18 or a 15. It's going to, these do sort of get quite high ratings, don't they? So that's kind of cool. Nice bit of bloodletting and all that kind of stuff. He was weird though. He was sort of like a combination of, James McAvoy's character in Split, you know, the way he'd run along the floor. He's sort of half beast, I mean, presumably the drop of blood. Did the drop of blood just come from the lion? It went into him. I looked death in the face and I saw me. Is that what he said? His dad, Russell Crowe, with yet another wondrously bizarre accent from his briefcase of bizarre accents. And do we care that we just don't know where they're from or what they are? No, it's Russell Crowe. A brutal assessment of their mother. She was mad and she was... and brutal assessment of the boy. He's rubbish. He's like his mother. Wow. I like Russell Crowe. I always feel he's taking the piss. Even if he's not taking the piss, he's taking the piss. And then at the centre of it all, you've got this long-haired lovey kind of charging around walls, looking, I have to confess, that whole scene is terrible, isn't it? When you know London as well as a Londoner knows London. Same old fucking shot of the London skyline. Let's pop the London Eye in there. Let's pop the Shard in there. And then the classic shot looking up the, I forget the name of the road, but the one that just runs north of the Thames by Blackfriars up to Nanny Dies. Him standing there looking a little bit like Wolverine. I was getting Wolverine vibes from him. He just suddenly got sharp fingers. It was like a city slicker goes rogue, wasn't he? He was like a stockbroker looking out the window and suddenly went nuts. I don't know. He just didn't really. He doesn't do it for me. And yet I like the violence. It's terrible to say I like violence. I don't like violence at all. But I like it when they're not afraid to show bullets entering heads and skulls being split and all that kind of stuff. So that was fun. That ain't going to do well. I mean, all I can say is it ain't going to do well.